Now, some of these are very obvious, but a lot of times people don't do the obvious. We tend to overcomplicate, we tend to overthink. And so there's several of these that are like, well, yeah, you should definitely do that. But a lot of people don't. A lot of people don't. And so I want to help you out with this. Okay. Are you ready? The Psychology of Selling, 12 Steps to Selling That Work. All right. And these aren't in order, by the way, not in order. It'd be very difficult to put these in order. Number one, ask more people. See, I told you, some of these are simple. This is a simple one. But I see people all the time that they hone in on the handful of prospects that they've talked to, and they're trying to convert this small band of people that don't want to join your thing or don't want to buy your thing. And it's just like, ask more people. Go talk to more people. There are people that need what your product, service, or opportunity offers. Go find them. Go talk to more people. Show more people. SMP, SMP, SMP. Ask more people. Number one. Number two, follow up with anyone who expresses an interest at any point. I think where people fall apart on this, first of all, most people don't follow up, period. Can't help you there. But a place where I think a lot of sales are missed is you have someone that expresses an interest. They're like, yeah, I'd like to sleep better or lose weight or make more money or whatever. And so you follow up once or twice and then you just kind of peter out. If someone has expressed interest at any point, you should be following up with them. There are people I followed up with for years, because they'd expressed interest at one point. Don't just assume that the last time you followed up with someone is like, okay, they're just not interested. I'm never following up with them again. Someone expresses interest, keep following up with them. Now, don't be addicted to their response, be addicted to your activity. Now, the only exception, 2 exceptions, what's this, 2.5? 2 exceptions. One, if they're rude, right? Now, if someone gets rude and nasty, they're no longer invited to be a customer. I don't want to work with them. Now, they may think they're making the choice. I'm making the choice. I'm not going to follow up with them. Someone's nasty, rude. I'm not going to try to convince them. That's just weird. Or number 2, I see that they pass away. Tom Hopkins used to say, you want to follow up until they buy or die. So if they pass away, stop sending messages. That's just efficient. But if there are people, I guarantee you, there are people that have expressed interest in your product, service, or opportunity that you stopped following up with that ended up buying something from someone else. Great example of this, realtors. Realtors, if someone has ever talked to you about listing their home or buying another home, like that's someone you want to be following up with literally forever. Okay. Number 3, don't be too eager. You want to look for opportunities to ask more questions. So one issue that I have, like right now, I'm actually writing an ebook all about scripts, right? And we have our script book. I cover a lot of scripts in our social media book, but I'm working on this specific ebook. It's going to be unbelievable. And one issue when you're a trainer that teaches scripts is a lot of times people become too eager to use the scripts and they stop listening. And so they're just like, oh, I can't wait for them to respond. Ow. Right. And they don't pay attention to what the person said. And so I've had, unfortunately, multiple times where someone says, Ray, I'm using your scripts and I'm not making sales. I'm like, all right, show me your screen. They always hate doing that, by the way. Why? Why do they hate doing that? They hate doing that. It's because I think they know. I think they know I'm going to find something. And so multiple times I've had someone that said, Ray, I'm using your scripts. I'm not making any sales. And they just happened to show me a conversation where someone replies that they were just at a funeral. And I think twice it was their mom's funeral. And did the salesperson listen? No, of course not. So I'm multiple times, not just once. That's a pretty wild coincidence. Multiple times I've seen it where, I just got back from my mom's funeral. Okay, when do you think you can watch the video? Just terrible. Come on, listen. Today in Rank Makers, I dropped a helpful follow-up tip, and that is before you follow up with someone, check their profile, just take a look. Maybe they were just in a car accident. Maybe they just had a kid die. Maybe they just were at a funeral, right? Maybe it's not the best time to follow up and ask them when they're going to make a decision. And so when you So just don't be too eager. Don't look to, when you're engaging with someone, look to connect, look to relate, look to listen, and you're going to respond based on what they're saying. Don't be too eager to smack out another one of my scripts or anyone else's scripts. That's number 3. Number 4, in the absence of progress, fall back on position. So that's one of my 4 Ps, right? My 4P method is pipeline, posture, position, perspective. You master those 4, you are a top earner in your company. You're one of, if not the top salesman in your brokerage, period. No question. I have no doubt to that. Well, one of the P's is position. And position isn't knowing your position, because you, I hope, believe in what it is that you're offering. Position is, where are they? Where's the prospect? So one of my favorite examples, some of you have heard me use this before, but one of my favorite examples of utilizing position and posture actually is my friend Amy out of California, Los Angeles. She lived in, I don't know if she still does, but she lived in Los Angeles, used to be an executive for HBO. And she gets me on a 3-way call with this person. And she breaks a rule. She edifies the prospect, not me. That's not good. That's never going to go well. And so she's like, Ray, this is Barbara. And Barbara runs a talent agency and she's amazing. And everyone in town knows her. She's been doing it. She's super successful. And Barbara, here's Ray. I'm like, great. So I know how it's going to go. I know the beginning. And sure enough, of course, she steps right into it. Hello, Ray. And this is what she says. I promise you. She says, I told Amy I'd look at her little home business. How are you today? So I'm just a little guy with little arms. Barbara, thank you. 1,000 thank yous for being on here with me, for gracing us with your presence. Right. So I'm just a little guy, little arms. She's got the high ground. She's coming in like, the king, and I'm just right. And so I use a combination of posture and position to correct the wrong. Okay, I gotta correct it. So I said, well, I guess I'm confused. If you're doing so well, why are we even on the phone? And so she, when someone encounters posture for sure, but sometimes position too, there's usually like a silence, there's like like they don't know what to say because they weren't expecting that. And so she pauses and then she goes, well, and she sighed, which I know, okay, good. We got her, like, welcome aboard. And so she sighs and she says, well, the industry isn't like it used to be. And I've lost a few clients and she, she goes on to explain that, hey, she kind of needs to do something because it's not the way it used to be. And I'm like, you can almost see the correction, right? The attitude adjustment. Now we can talk. There's no point in me talking to someone who thinks they're higher than thou, right? That's not going to go well. It's just going to be like me, right? And so understand the position of your prospect. Did they request the video? Did they request the phone call? Did they reach out to you? Or did they not? If you're at position 0 and you have no idea their interest in what it is that you're offering, then you have no leverage. You got nothing to fall back on. But if someone has expressed interest, you can always fall back. Now, you originally expressed interest, what were you hoping to see? In the absence of progress, I couldn't just proceed forward with her saying what she said. Okay, Barbara, great. Let me tell you about our little home business, right? I couldn't move forward. Can't. So in the absence of progress, when I can't move forward, I'm going to check the position. If it's at position 0, I'm probably thanking them. Okay, cool. No problem. All right. Well, if you know anyone that does want to make some extra money or whatever it is that whatever benefit you're offering. So that's number 4. Okay. So quick recap, ask more people, follow up with anyone who expresses an interest at any point, unless they become rude. Don't be too eager. Look for opportunities to ask more questions. In the absence of progress, fall back on position. Helpful so far? Y'all taking notes? 5, agree, then ask more questions if they say they want to think about it. You want to be very careful of brick walling people. So I know some people that, someone will say, hey, I want to think about it. And they're like, what's there to think about? What do you mean? What's there to think about? That's like a brick wall. Like that's the opposite of, judo. So like judo uses your opponent's weight against them, right? So if they're charging you, you kind of step aside and let them run into a brick wall or something, right? And so if someone says, I want to think about it, the worst thing you can do is throw up resistance. What's there to think about? Make a move already. I've found leaders make quick decisions. Like, don't do any of that crap. That's not good. Same concept with, I got to talk to my spouse. I got to talk to my wife. I got to talk to my husband. Same. What do you got to talk to them about? When you brick wall, it creates resistance in them. And someone that has resistance is either not going to move forward, or they're going to ask for a refund later if you push them. Don't do it. Don't do it. So if someone says, I want to think about it, this was my answer every time someone said they wanted to think about it. Now I'm referring to if I was recruiting someone for an opportunity. This is what I would say. Well, I want to think about it. I'm like, I would say, okay, great. You know what? I want to make sure this is a fit for you. So you take your time. If it takes 3 months, 6 months, whatever, absolutely make sure, because I don't want you dipping your toe in the water. I want this to be an absolute fit for you, because we invest a lot of time training you, working with you, and coaching you. And I don't want anyone in that isn't sure that this is the right move for them. Now, do you think that created resistance? Not at all. In fact, I don't know exactly. If I had to guess, I would say 50%. 50% of people that said, I got to think about it. And I would respond with that. And they'd say, you know what, you're right. Let's do it. And they'd move forward anyway. It's magical. And so, but don't create a brick wall. Don't brick wall it. Don't say, what's there to think about? You don't need to talk to her. Does she talk to you when she buys shoes? Like, I hear all these crazy ways that these trainers out there are running amok, teaching you guys terrible stuff. You know what? Take your time. And I remember I was up in Toronto, which I'm going to be back up there in September. But I was in Toronto, and my friend Raza, he brought a guy over to me, and he's like, hey, Ray, this guy says he wants to think about it. No. He said, this guy wants to do his research. And so they would bring me their prospects and look for me to do an amazing song and dance or whatever. And so I said, well, absolutely. We got over 100 videos out there. I would go through each and every one of them and make sure this thing's a fit for you, because we invest a lot of time training you and coaching you. We want to make sure you're not dipping your toe in the water. Okay. So I green lighted it. I didn't create any resistance. I didn't brick wall them. I didn't say, well, what's wrong with you? What do you got to think about? None of that nonsense. That's what I did. And so I could tell my friend Razzo did not like that answer. He was looking for me to close him on the spot. But the next morning he comes over to me. We had a team like coffee meeting or something at Tim Hortons. Shout out to Tim Hortons. I think I had an ice camp. And he comes over and he goes, dude, after you answered that guy, I was never going to bring another person to your presentations, but he signed up last night. I'm like, oh, cool. I kind of figured he would, because when you green light someone, you fulfill a part of them. You're part of them is seeing if you're hiding anything. And when you're like, yeah, do your research, like take your time, no rush here, and you say how committed you are to helping them, it's kind of like a double force. Very, very powerful. And so, he was happy then. He was happy with me. Number 6, this is something hardly anyone does, but it's so powerful. Number 6, and again, this is the psychology of selling, 12 steps of selling that work. Number 6, ask them what happens if they don't solve their problem. So if someone, like if you're selling weight loss, right? Or whatever it is that you're selling, and someone expresses to you, hey, I'd like to do that thing. And then they get kind of cold, and then they're like backing out. And you're like, okay, well, I'm just curious. What happens if you don't lose weight? See, there's a penalty to inaction. There's an ignorance penalty for all the people that didn't invest in the coach that would have helped them. There's an ignorance penalty, right? They didn't learn what they could have learned. They could have grown. So there's a penalty. See, most people only see the penalty of cost. They say, I forget who said this, but it was, poor-minded people know the price of everything and the value of nothing. And I also heard, I forget who said this one too, it was poor people can't afford to buy cheap things, because cheap things don't work, cheap things break, then they got to buy another one, right? Anyway, and so what happens if you don't solve this problem? Okay, what happens if you don't lose the weight? What happens if you don't find a way to make money? Ask them that question. Because it's very common that the person only sees the money they will have to part with to get your thing. They're not looking at, well, what happens if I don't solve this? What if I stay in the same place for 5 years? Oh my goodness, that'd be like an insane asylum. I'd be like, no thanks. Ask them that question. Hardly anyone does that. Very effective. Now, I'm going to give you a couple similar ones, but they're a little different, Number 7, ask them if their need or problem will get worse or better in 5 years. Here's what I know. Unaddressed problems rarely get better. So you can ask them, hey, what happens if you don't solve it? And if that doesn't do the trick, you could say, well, let me ask you this. Okay, maybe you don't move forward today. Will the problem get worse or better in the next 5 years? It'll be very rare for someone to say, I think it'll be better. I think it'll work out. Most people are very negative. And when you ask them about the future, most, not all, but most are going to say, oh, yeah, it's not going to be good. Okay, will it be harder to solve in 5 years? Is that what you're saying? And notice, I'm saying 5 years. I'm not saying next month, because there may not be enough pain in the next month, but in the next 5 years, I bet there's pain. Okay, I'm just curious. Will your weight loss do you think you'll be at a better weight or worse weight if you don't do anything right now, weight-wise in 5 years? A lot of times that will magnify the problem and have them see 5 years down the road in just a really bad place. Oh my goodness. And that could expedite them needing to do something now. I told you I'm getting into psychology here, guys. By the way, there's a difference between persuasion and convincing. Convincing is getting someone to do what you want them to do. Persuading is getting them to do what they already want to do. See, the prospects you're talking to, most of them, they want to do something about their problem. I'm just helping you do that. Now, if you're trying to get someone who doesn't want to do anything about the problem to buy something, then that's convincing and that's manipulation. That's no good. Don't do that. Helpful so far? Okay, so that was number 7. Number 8. Again, this is similar, and I actually mentioned it earlier a little bit, but I call it green light. If you don't do this, how will you solve that? If you don't do this, how will you solve that? Now, the power of that is if they knew that answer, they wouldn't be talking to you. So it's kind of an unfair question. If they're talking to you, you are their current best bet at solving whatever problem they're trying to solve. So when you say, well, okay, well, if you don't do this, then how will you solve it? They don't have that answer. No idea. That's green light. Number 9, ask them if they're coachable. Now, this is magical because most people aren't coachable. Most people are so full of themselves and they look at what they think they know versus the results in their life. I've had people say, I don't need motivation. I'm like, well, your results say otherwise. That's if I have a good, relationship with them. I don't need no motivation. Well, your results say otherwise. But here's what's cool about this question. Are you coachable? See, no one wants to be labeled not coachable. So when you ask someone who isn't coachable, are you coachable? 99 times out of 100, they're going to say, yeah, of course. Now you've just had them walk through the gate of an identity shift. That is an identity shift. When someone says, I am coachable, now they're actually going to resist all of their traits of them being uncoachable. So they're going to fight the resistance to say, yeah, I know that already. They're like, keep saying that. Oh, darn it. Yeah, I knew that. It's creating this identity of coachability. And so, hey, I'm just curious, are you coachable? Almost everyone is going to say, yeah. Now they've walked through the gate of the coachability identity, and you're going to be able to better lead them. And so you'll say, well, if you're coachable, I can show you what to do, and this is going to solve your problem, but you got to be coachable. They've already said they're coachable. Because here's the thing. If they knew that what you were selling would solve their problem, they'd buy it every time. They'd buy it every time. Do you know why people pay tens of thousands of dollars for a gastric bypass to take, fat off of them? Because they know it'll work. Now, if the doctor said, hey, we can do this gastric bypass, but, it doesn't always work, they'd be like, I ain't paying this for that. But because they know it'll work, no question, they will pay. People will pay any amount to solve their problem if they know that the problem will be solved. So you asking, are you coachable, is just setting that groundwork. If you're coachable, I'll tell you what, because won't you tell it what to do, right? There's no mystery. You should be able to at least instruct them what to do. And if they do it, you can't make them do it. You can't make them do it. I can't hire a personal trainer and say, hey man, I'm a little tired today. Can you do my sit-ups for me, bro? I'd really appreciate it, man. I want to get jacked. I want to get diesel. I can't. But Could that personal trainer instruct me on how to get jacked and diesel? I sure hope so. That'd be weird if he or she couldn't. So I ask them if they're coachable. You're gonna tell them what to do. It's up to them if they do it. You can't guarantee they'll do it. You have no idea. But you can tell them the steps that would make the solving of their problem guaranteed. And they will pay whatever amount for that if they had confidence that your thing would do that. Helpful? I told you, man, I got up early for this, man. I got up early to dig in and teach you guys some good stuff. Number 10, I kind of already covered this without even realizing it, but agree and pull back if they say they want to do their research. Do not fight someone wanting to do the research. Don't say, I've done it for you. Here you go. You don't need to do the research. Remember what I said earlier? I actually didn't mean to answer this one earlier, but I answered two at one time, actually. And so number 10 is if they say they want to do the research, agree. Absolutely. You should totally do your research. We have plenty of videos out there. Study as long as you want. I know this sounds weird. Like you're like, Ray, I don't want them to join in 6 months. Most of the times when I say, hey, take however long you want, they sign up immediately because I've put them at ease. We're not hiding anything. We're not worried about what you'll find. I'm telling you, I would say probably 50% of people say, I need to do my research, and I give them this response. They sign up on the spot. I just green light it. Absolutely do all the research you need. You know, one, we got plenty of videos out there, plenty of testimonials, plenty of things. Go study all those things. And number two, we want to make sure this thing's a fit for you. Don't dip your toe in the water. We spend a lot of time. We invest in you. We work very closely with you. And I don't want someone who's wishy-washy, who's flip-flopping. You get what I'm saying. Number 11, this is very few people do this either. I mean, very few people do any of these things, right? But number 11, have stories of success of their same career or background. So if you know you're going to be meeting with or talking to a pharmacist, scour your company. Doesn't have to be your team. Scour your company. Are there any success stories of pharmacists? I want to bring those to the table. Are there any success stories of realtors, of bus drivers, of shoe salesmen, of whatever, IT people, right? This is one of the most important but least paid attention to moments at a company convention, if you're in the network marketing space, is the recognition. You should be like a hawk. You should have a pen and paper. Don't just cheer, like, yay, do that, but have a pen and paper. Everyone that rocks, okay, CPA. Okay, they were a teacher. They were a nurse. Okay, they were an astronaut. They were biologists, right? You should have a list of who walked the stage and what was their background or career, because that's a reverse memory jogger for you to go talk to people that have those same backgrounds or careers. The number one battle you're facing when it comes to opportunity is people thinking that someone like them can't do it. Well, someone like, I'm a teacher, right? They don't know that they're, like my friend Sarah Robbins, I just did a StreamYard with her. She was a kindergarten teacher. She's made tens of millions of dollars. Kindergarten teacher. I could go to any kindergarten teacher and say, hey, look at this story. It's amazing. So that's number 11. And last but not least, I have mentioned this throughout the list, but it's so important. I'm making it its own bullet, and that's listen, listen, listen. Listen for their pain. Listen for what's going on. Listen for what have they tried before? Listen to what are they resistant to? Speaking of what have they tried before, what didn't work? One of the stories I thought was so impressive is James Clear, who I actually met, nice guy. He wrote the book Atomic Habits. In preparing for that book, he went and studied every book out there on Amazon about habits, routines, consistency, discipline. He honed in and read every 3-star review. And you may be like, what? Why would he do that? Because he figured 1-star reviews, they just hate your guts. Like anyone that leaves a 1-star review, it's probably not that the book was terrible, but they just hate you. 5-star reviews, that's probably the super fans. Like I can't give that too much credit. 3-star reviews, people that bought the book hoping for something but didn't get it. So he studied all these 3-star reviews before he wrote the book Atomic Habits. And he incorporated as much as he could of missed expectations that people wanted to get something from that book they bought. He brought as much of that as he could into his book. Why do I say that? Because if you listen to where have the people you're talking to been disappointed, You can either say, yeah, you're going to get disappointed here too. Let's not waste our time. Or you can set new expectations and you can learn as a leader and a salesperson. So listen. So that's the 12 lists. Helpful. Tag someone who needs to hear this. Also, I'm doing something very special from now till the end of the month. So, it's a few days. Anyone that gets at least 20 copies of any of my books, it could be the social media book, it could be the Go for No for Network Marketing, could be Faith Driven Network Marketer, could be my leadership book, or my latest Faith Driven Wealth. Anyone that gets 20 or more copies of any of these books, I am game to do a team training for you. And so feel free to direct message me on Instagram or Facebook if you would like to talk more about that. If you think that me teaching sales and helping your team get better at sales might benefit you, then let me know and I'm happy to do that. And we think it's a pretty reasonable offer as well, but it's only for the next few days. All right. And so I appreciate you so very much. Feel free to share this, tag someone, and I'll talk to you soon. God bless you. God bless your family. And I'll talk to you soon. Bye for now.